Hey guys, we're here in the First Descendant. We got a first impressions video for you. This game's just dropped on Steam as well as Xbox and PlayStation. Now, this is a third-person looter shooter. It is a free-to-play game, so we will get to the monetization at the end, but I want to talk about gameplay and systems and stuff first. This is a first impressions video, so it's going to be more focused on the early game. Haven't got to the end game yet. Now, moment-to-moment gameplay here feels really good. Movement feels good. I've been playing on a controller in this gameplay you're seeing here. But the moment-to-moment gameplay here, it feels really good. Your movements feel nice and smooth. The shooting feels really good. There's a lot of aim assist on controller, so it really does kind of lock on once you're there. Not as extreme as, some games in the past, but I'd say a little bit more aggressive than Destiny, a little bit more. But it feels really good. You have a grapple on this particular character. I'm not sure if every character class has a grapple, but this character does. So you'll see it in the gameplay here. We get to zip around. This character has ice skills, so you'll see those as well. I'm using a machine gun as well as a hand cannon and a heavy shotgun in this gameplay. So this machine gun, it has a pretty round sort of reticle here. It doesn't recoil too bad. This hand cannon feels really, really nice. If you land that headshot, oh yeah, that crunchy kind of headshot feels really good. So it is a third-person shooter type of game. You can use your abilities. As you see, I throw out my ice spike. That's one of the abilities. I've got this ice path type ability, ice frost ability. It'll frost the ground. Well, that's the third one there, which sends a frost wave out in front of me. I haven't used the yeah, there we go. So frost path underneath me there. Here's this heavy shotgun. Just brought it out to take out the big guy. So the default turn speed is a little slow on controller, as you can see here. I haven't messed with the settings yet in this gameplay. But yeah, the moment-to-moment gameplay, it feels really good. In terms of the world, the story, you're thrown into it pretty quickly. There are these things called the Iron Hearts, the bad guy. He's captured one of them and it's given him some kind of power. But before he grabbed it, you touched it and you met this guide lady. He also got access to your powers. I'm not really too sure in the grand scheme of things what's happening with the story here. It's still early game, so I can't really tell you, whether it's an amazing story. But what I can say is the voice acting is really good, and the script and writing is pretty good too, I'd say. Nothing super cringeworthy or anything like that thus far. It's all relatively serious tone. Graphically, I think it looks really good. I'm only running on a mid-range PC here, so if you have a really beefy rig, this game is really, really, really good looking. But even on a mid-range PC here, it looks pretty good, and it runs pretty smooth. I haven't had any issues with frame rate or bugs or anything like that. And I was actually able to get in right away on day one with the servers, so far all that stuff's really positive. One of the one of the soundtrack tunes in here was really cool as well. And the sound design's pretty good. The guns sound real chunky and heavy when you fire them. As I said, the voice acting is really good. So overall, the sound and the presentation, the package here is really, really good. It's really clean, really, really smooth. It feels really polished. Feels like a AAA package. In terms of the gameplay, though, they really throw you into the open world pretty quickly. There is a starter mission where you meet the bad guy and that, but you're just thrown into the open world pretty early on. I think they could have maybe done a little bit better job of giving you a more interesting story mission early on here, because the first hour or so is just open world activity before you come across this story mission here that you're seeing in the background now. But the open world activities, they're pretty basic stuff. Go here, defend, take this bomb over here, plant it on this thing to blow it up. Pretty basic stuff, but the moment-to-moment gameplay is really fun, and there are other players out there in the world. It's kind of like that shared world, open world type feel with, something like Destiny, if you've played that. In fact, this game does have a lot of Destiny kind of DNA in there. Obviously, it's a third person, and Destiny's first person. But there really is a lot of Destiny DNA here. in terms of even the the names of the weapons and the weapon archetypes. You know, there's a scout rifle, there's a hand cannon, and all that type of stuff. Definitely wears its inspiration on its sleeve, and that's totally fine. So let's talk about the free-to-play nature of this game and the monetization now. There is a battle pass that's $10 US. You can also buy currency, which will enable you to speed up progress with leveling up weapons and progress and that sort of thing. I'm not actually 100% sure how it will go in the end game here, but you can buy currency that will help you progress, and you can buy more equipment slots and things like that as well. What I can say is early on, the game feels really generous. You're leveling up really quickly, you're getting new weapons and items at a really good rate. I've not once felt like I've been, you know, at a disadvantage for not having the Battle Pass active. There are XP nodes in there that will give you an additional 30% XP though, so there were at least 2 of those. So if you are going to be playing this game long term, probably worth buying the Battle Pass, but if you're just going to try out the game in a free-to-play sense, you really can play at least a good portion of this game without feeling like they're trying to reach into your wallet, which is really good. Now, in terms of the end game, I can't really say whether the end game is going to have that kind of wall where you hit and then you have to feel like you really need to spend money to progress. I don't know. I can't say yet. Keep your eye out on the channel for some future content on this game. I'm gonna cover it, and we'll talk about the end game in a future video, and we'll definitely talk about the monetization and whether it's a problem or not in the future. But early game here is, you know, it's really generous. You're getting loot. As you can see, I'm just getting loot drops all the time here. We're leveling up as we go, as you can see, up to level 7 here. And there's been no sort of gating of progress. As you can see on the right there, it does say mission attempts available 8. So I guess maybe, I don't know how often that would reset for you. Is that a daily thing? I'm not really sure, but I did this mission without dying, so, you know, it wasn't really a problem for me here at all. I didn't die once, so I didn't use any of these attempts. Now, this is like the first major campaign mission, so it's not really that difficult. There is a boss in here who was kind of chunky, but we took him down anyway. Yeah, so we'll report back later on whether the monetization is pretty bad. Now, in terms of the battle pass, though, there is a legendary gun at the end, so you have to get to rank 100 to get this legendary gun. Along the way, there's a bunch of cosmetics as well as some extra currency gain and stuff like that. As I said before, I think if you are going to play this game long term or you're really into it, probably worth spending the $10 US to get the battle pass, as that will speed up your progression. If you're just going to hop in and check out the free-to-play nature of the game, I wouldn't worry about battle pass or spending money early on here. It's not really a problem. Here's the big boss dude here. So this room does get a little hectic, but you can just run around and take cover when you need to. But yeah, I mean, I've enjoyed this game thus far. What I really enjoy about it is the shooting feels good on a controller. There's a lot of games that, you know, obviously mouse and keyboard is a different input method altogether. But if you're a controller player, this game feels really nice on the controller. There's a lot of auto aim, so, you know, it's not really putting your aim test to this, you know, to the test per se, but I guess it is more casual friendly in that way. You can, obviously, if you're aiming for crits, you're gonna get higher DPS out of your weapon, and you're gonna be more efficient on the battlefield. But it really does feel generous in the aim assist, and as you can see, we've got enough health and shields here that if we just move around a bit, we're regenning really quickly. And we have our ice skills that we're throwing out there, and there you go, he went down there, he dropped, not sure what the purple was there, but he dropped something for me. So guys, I recommend checking out this game if you're into looter shooters. It's third person, it's a lot of fun. There are 3 main characters to start with. There are, I think they said there are about 15 original characters, and I think you can use currency perhaps to unlock characters in the future too. I'm not sure because I don't see the characters available for purchase, at least early game here. Maybe you unlock them later. I'm not too sure how that really works. But there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's the first mission. I think this game's pretty fun. Check it out if you're into looter shooters. It is free, so you can jump in for free. You can check it out. You can play a bunch of the content. I have not hit a grind wall or a paid content wall or anything like that. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, consider hitting like and subscribe. Thank you very much. Have a fantastic day.